What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean Peter Blunt guy. Hey, and y'all, this is gonna be my last stream on this YouTube journey. This is the last official stream on this YouTube journey, and I want to thank everybody who all everybody who subscribed and engaged, and all the friends I made on YouTube, streaming on YouTube. But it is not the end. It is not the end of my streaming journey or the end of my YouTube journey at all. This is going to be the end of me streaming on YouTube because I will be switching over to Twitch. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitch if you want to continue to catch these streams. And as far as everybody else who, you're strictly YouTube, right? I still will be posting edited videos here on YouTube, so you guys could get my stream, but they will be edited, right? They'll be much shorter for the people who maybe my streams are too long for you, or maybe you can't catch my streams when I do them live. So, I will still be posting stuff here on YouTube. So do not fret, right? But if you want to catch me, doing live streams, make sure you follow me on Twitch, okay? But today we're here to pretty much go through Berserk, right? We're doing a read through of Berserk. I will be finishing it's weird. I started this YouTube with One Piece, but I'm gonna be finishing it with Berserk, right? But I will be starting my Twitch journey with One Piece with the next upcoming chapter. So make sure you follow me on Twitch. Right? The link will be in the description box, so make sure you guys follow me on Twitch. Yeah, especially because that new chapter is coming out, and I know it's going to be fire. I've been hearing a lot of hype about it, and I will be doing my reaction on Sunday when the official drops on the Viz, right? But today's about Berserk, right? We will be reading through chapter 4, which I think chronologically is chapter 4, but in the with the app that I use, it's like D0 or something like that. I don't know what you guys use, but what I'm using, it says like D as in dog 0, but chronologically it is chapter 4. What's good, Adam? We got Adam in the chat. He says, nice, I'll have to pop up on there now. And then he says, very poetic. Yes, it is kind of poetic, right? It is kind of poetic. But, yeah. But before I get into it, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and hit that bell for notifications. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and also Twitch. Again, follow me on Twitch if you want to catch my live streams. I will be switching over to Twitch. Well, technically, I'll be switching over tomorrow because I'm going to probably play some Elden Ring. But for my One Piece and Berserk streams, I will be switching over to Twitch officially on Sunday, right? And if you're looking for a One Piece community to be a part, it's not even a One Piece stream. Why am I promoting my One Piece stuff? If you're just looking for a community to be a part of, go check out my Discord, right? Go check out my Discord. It's not exclusive to One Piece anymore. You could like whatever you want. If you just want to be part of my community, go check out the Discord. The Blumph Squad Requiem. I had to rename it that. I like that name, so I kind of fell on it, But anyway, we are here for some Berserk. Chronologically, chapter 4, but I mean, I don't know how you Berserk fans, I don't know how y'all go by the chapter structure, because in the app I use, it is chapter D0. You know what I mean? So that's what we're going to get into it. So let's get into it. All right. We got Berserk I want to say volume 2. I think we're on volume 2. We got this little cover page. We got Guts, pretty wounded, pretty beaten up. Look like he's repairing his prosthetic arm. Probably cleaning it as well, doing maintenance on it. Makes sense. I would think you would want to keep it in the best condition as possible. Especially me, I've been in the military, so I know how it is having a weapon. You got to take care of it. You got to do maintenance on it, or else it gets rusty and then it doesn't function the way you want it. So I'm assuming that's kind of what I'm kind of looking at Guts doing at the moment, right? Adam said, I think my newest Berserk vid is too spoilery for you, but I threw in a clip of you dancing, naming the Hebe Litman. Yeah, I will watch it, but I was kind of hesitant because I was like, I don't want to be spoiled on nothing, right? So I kind of stayed away, but I did see it though. I did see it. Don't think I was ignoring it. I just don't want to be spoiled on anything. Maybe show me the clip of what you're talking about, right? Show me like a short clip, to show you to show me what you mean. Show me what you mean. So yeah, so we got Guts kind of doing what looks to be maintenance on his prosthetic arm. And then next page, we kind of got the word Berserk kind of whited out. Next page, Berserk 2 by Kentaro Mieta, right? Translation, Jason DeAngelis, and lettering and retouch, Dan Nakrosis. We on the next page, just some more credits, right? More credits. All right, so we on the next page, which is like another cover page where we got Guts just looking badass. You see a bandage over his eye, kind of going over his wrapped around his head. He's gripping his sword, right? What is that sword called? Like, does he have a name for it? I'm curious. Or do I learn that later? Or did I did he ever give the name? I don't remember if they ever said what that sword's name was. But my foot was itching. Maybe he doesn't name it, maybe it's just, because I follow One Piece where all the swords are named, right? Like you got Zoro, Shishui, Mihawk's, Yuru, and Zoro's other swords, the Wado Ichimonji, Enma now. So maybe I'm just kind of spoiled with swords being named, right? The Joy Boy says sword name gets revealed later. Cool. Okay. That's all I needed to know. Nobody has to tell me the name of the sword. The Joy Boy also said, I read the physical, so it's by chapter for me. All right, cool. Yeah, me, I'm not reading the physical. Yeah. Adam says, oh no, I figured LOL is definitely too spoilery, but I will grab a clip of it for the Discord. LOL. Yeah, man, send the clip. I want to see what you use, man. I want to see what you use. So, all right. I'm going to go down to the page. Now, another dope cover art where we got, Guts looking off to the left, grabbing his sword, It's like everything is always Guts grabbing his sword, just looking menacing, you know what I'm saying? All right, so now we're on the meat of the chapter. We're back in the actual chapter, So technically, I think this is chapter 2, Technically, I think we're on chapter 2, right? But for the sake of the app I use, this is chapter 4. So again, I'm a little confused with the chapter structure. So if anybody's confused when you see my title, I'm confused as well. I'm just going by each, chapter from the actual app that I'm using. So, forgive me, Guts fans, if y'all gonna have to forgive me. You know, maybe when the structure is a little more consistent, I'll be more correct, right? I'll be more correct. All right, so we on this. I don't know what page number we're on, but we're in the actual chapter now, and I'm looking at this egg, right? This egg with the mouth. Uh, it's like an eye, and then the nose is off to the left. It's confusing looking egg thingy, right? And it says, Bahilit. Somebody told me it's like Ba, like it's pronounced Ba, Bahilit. So I'm gonna just say Bahilit. Uh, so yeah, a Bahilit. Is it Bahilit or Bihilit? Like, is it pronounced Bihilit or is it pronounced Bahilit? I'm not sure. Somebody, I think, was it Joy Boy? I think you told me it was like Bahilit. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think somebody. All right, and Guts kind of looks shockingly. His mouth. You kind of see like his teeth, kind of like he grinning, or is his mouth is his mouth like cut to where it's like cut to the side a little bit? Cause it looked like he has his mouth closed, but I could still see his teeth over on the his left side of his face, right? So not too sure. They says, you know what this is. Or no, he said, you know what this is? Trying to get the same infliction on how he talks, right? And then Guts grabs the man by his neck and like chokes him and lifts him up. And the man says, eek. And then what is the little elf's name? Pike? Bahilit. Bahilit. That's how you say it. Bahilit. Okay. What's the little elf's name? I done forgot the elf's name. It's like Pike or I forget the elf's name. He says, the elf says, Guts, stop. And Guts says, who the hell are you? Where'd you get this thing? And the guy says, it's not mine. It's from the castle. I stole it from the count. And then Guts looks ... He says, I'm telling you the truth. And then next page, Guts drops the man. Says, And the guy looks surprisingly. He says, tell me about it. Says Guts, tell me everything you know. The guy looks ... And so does the elf Pike. What is the elf's name? Somebody tell me the elf's name. I don't know why I forgot it. Pup. Okay. Hell not. So it's Bahilit. Just reading it, it looked like Behilit, right? It looked Behilit. But I'm going to say Bahilit. And the guy says, my name is Vargas. I used to be the castle physician. Man, this guy, why they give him a Mexican name, bro? That's a Mexican name, I know some Vargases and they're usually Mexican, No knock on. Shout out to all my Vargases. Man, I want some Mexican food now, man. God dang. A guy named Vargas make me want some Mexican food, bro. Some tacos or something. He says, my name is Vargas. I used to be the castle physician. In those days, the count was a different person. He was cruel, but at least he was still human. Next page. He says, but 7 years ago, after getting hold of this thing, the count changed. So once he got it, okay. And he says, he began to treat people as if they were mere playthings, dissecting them alive, slicing them open, chopping them up, violating them, and then eating them. His inquisition of heretics became nothing more than an excuse to acquire more bodies. So we kind of get like this shot where it's like a castle dungeon, and you see a bunch of bodies hanging on chains and stuff. Like one of the bodies like cut in half, and you see his guts hanging from like his upper torso. Then you see some in the back just hanging. Some of them are upside down. One of them, he's like slicing in the back with a knife. One of them is like just kind of like he's like spread out. You know, you see his little thing. It's not like you don't fully see it, but you know, you kind of see his little thing. And he's hanging. You see all these little contraptions. This little thing with spikes on it. And I see like a hand on that. Look kind of like a wheel with spikes coming out of it. And then on the top of it, you see like a hand. And then you see like some other hands across the floor and everything. Next page. So now Guts kind of chilled the hell out. He's like just leaning back on the bookshelf, listening, ... Vargas says, I couldn't bear to be a part of the Count's diversions, so I secretly fled the castle with my wife and 2 sons. But on our way out, we were caught and thrown into prison. Yeah, I was wondering, I was like, he must have got caught or something. You know, he must have got caught for his face to get all messed up. And he says, then the fiend hacked me up. And right before my eyes, he took my wife and my sons. Dang, that's messed up, bro. And you see the guy, like, you see Vargas hanging on this little mount looking thing with his arms around it, and his face is messed up. His legs are gone and wrapped up. He said, even now the image is seared into my memory. Hey, that sucks, bro. It's like everybody is like tragic characters here. You know, like all of them been through something, you know what I mean? Like, or even the ones that don't, you know, they probably die, you know what I mean? Like everybody either dies or they've been through some messed stuff or both, you know what I mean? Like, dang, like the only people who I've seen in this series so far that has not died in the chapter is Guts and Pup. Everybody else dies. Like, that's wild. So that was page 10. Okay. So this is technically chapter 2. So I might have to start changing I might have to change my some of my stuff, right? So yeah. All right. Okay, where am I? All right, so we're on page 11. Page 11. The guy's face is torn off. You can see like his skin hanging off. His what's the right side of his face? His eye is missing. Bruh, it's wild, man. And then you see like I guess the direction he's facing, and you see a table with like a body, like parts of a body hanging on. And I think I want to say the lower end is still on the table. The upper part of the body is like hanging from the ceiling, and then you kind of see the silhouette of the man doing the deeds, right? And then we get kind of a closer look. You see the upper body like cut open. And then the middle one, you kind of see like you see the upper body hanging. Okay, so I'm assuming his son's body is on the table, and then his wife's body is like hanging because you kind of see the breast, right? You see like a silhouette of the body and the breast, and then you see like a head sitting on the table, and you see the Count pretty much swallowing the legs of one of the bodies. And this is page 11. Going to page 12. All right, so page 12, you see the count, and he looked like a demon. Like he looked like he looked kind of like a frog though. Like he looked like a frog. You see the man, he has like horns. He has like this big, I don't know what you call it. Like his throat is just like expanded, kind of like you expect a frog, right? And then he got like these little whisker looking things, from his neck, and his hands look like they look weird, right? They look weird. Like he got, I want to say he has like he has like 5 fingers, but even on like this side of his hands, it's like more of them. Like I don't know if those are extra fingers or what they are, And then his other hand looks even more mutated. All right, and Guts is just listening to the story. Puck is like wheezing, right? Like he's kind of crying, like teary-eyed and probably a little disturbed. Okay, so we move on to page 13. Vargas says at the time, more than anger or sorrow, more than concern for my life or for my wife and 2 sons, I was nothing but a prisoner of fear. Why Guts standing like that? Guts standing weird as hell. He got like his leg crossed, but he's kind of like standing up with his hands on the desk behind him, listening. Guts more ... just listening. He said, I used a drug that I had concealed to fiend my death. And when the opportunity arose, I slipped out of the castle, taking this thing with me. It was a miracle. Next page. So Vargas is sitting at the table. We kind of get like a upward shot, or downward shot, or a shot from above downward though. And he says, since then, 7 years have passed. During that time, I tirelessly researched every aspect of religion and the occult, but I could never uncover a single clue about the nature of this thing. This, what in the world is it? And we kind of get a shot of the Bahilit, or Bahilit. And Gut says, a key. Vargas and Puck looks intently, and then he says, that opens a portal to another world that overlaps our own. It's a key that summons demons from another dimension that have manipulated the dark side of human history since ancient times. Okay, so all right, so I was kind of thinking the Bahilit was going to be like something that like maybe a power up possibly, or something that makes a person stronger possibly. I don't know, you know what I mean? But it's a key. It could still do that though. Like if you got that key, it could probably, grant you some abilities. I don't know though. I don't know. Don't nobody spoil it. Next page, we see a bunch of silhouettes, like 5 silhouettes. One of them is kind of a hooded man or a hooded figure, like from right to left. It's a wide hooded figure. Next, you get a man who looked like he might be wearing like a cape, or like like a cape. And then another one you is like, or the next guy is like a cape, but the man kind of has like some vampire looking, like those flaps that come out. I don't know what you call that, but it's like a flap that kind of. It's not like, it's kind of like a hood, but it's not a hood because it doesn't go over your head, but it goes behind your head. And then next is, I don't know, it looked like a little round looking beat creature. I don't know. And then the next look like it could be another caped figure with like dreads or something. I don't know, like wild looking hair, kind of like Rox D. Zebek, right? And Gut says the 5 members of the God Hand. So hold on. Okay. And then there's like a moon behind them, right? It's like it looked like a eclipsed sun almost. It looks like a eclipsed sun. And then Puck and Vargas, looks shocked. Okay, that we're on page 15 and we move on to page 16. All right, so I'm looking at like a castle. You see the door and everything. And okay, no, this is outside of, I guess, where they're at, right? Their little hideout, right? But then you see like a shadow. We see like shadows, right? And I'm assuming these are going to be soldiers. Like some soldiers must have found out the hiding spot. All right, so then we get kind of a shot of the city with the walled in castle in the distance, and we see like a guy laying in bed, right? Like this guy laying in bed with a bunch of, I don't know if they're doctors or priests or what, surrounding the bed. And one guy looked like he kind of got like a bowl. Another guy got like a towel. So next page. LaJoy Boy said, "Eclipse, you say?" I mean, that was in like the shot that I looked where it was like God hand. You see like an eclipse behind them, or it looks like it's an eclipse because it's like you can see the light behind it, but it's dark. Like you can see kind of an outline of light seeping behind like a dark, like some darkness, which looked like it might be like the moon blocking the sun. So I'm assuming it's an eclipse. I don't know though. So, okay, so, one of the guys, okay, next page. So one of the guys is holding a bow, and then like a hand reaches out and like smack the bow, and they say, "Lord Zondark," and the bow drops, and one of the old guy says, "Lord Zondark, calm down, please." And Lord Zondark grabs the man by his head and says, "Kill. I'll kill you." Guy says, "Eek." Next page. All right, so what I'm assuming these are doctors. They fall down. One of them fall down, and you see the old guy that he grabbed his head. Is like his head, like he's on the floor and his head is like exploded behind him. So he must have died. He must have threw his head down and he must have cracked his head open. And Lord Zondark is getting out of bed, like and looking like he's in like some type of agony, right? And then the fat guy comes in, the guy we know is most likely an apostle. I'm assuming it's that guy. He said, "What's going on here?" And the doctors look back. LaJoy Boy say, "Yeah, just remember that, LOL. Got you. I got you. I'll remember. Eclipse." So then we get a close-up of the fat guy. He said, "It's His Majesty." Oh, I remember Lord Zondark. Lord Zondark is the guy who got beat up by Guts. It's the guy who got beat up by Guts. And they say, "It's His Majesty." And you see the old fat butterball guy. "What's all this racket?" They said, "It's Lord Zondark's condition." I don't know why Guts didn't kill this guy. Like I knew when Guts didn't kill this guy, I knew this guy will be back in the story, and he probably gonna get some type of demonic power up. I already kind of felt like when Guts was playing around with him instead of just killing him right away. I was like, bruh, this guy might survive and come back as a threat later, you know. And that's what it's looking like it's gonna be. I'm already kind of predicting it, right? And so Lord Zondark got like these bandages over his face, covering his eye and everything. He's like ripping them off. He says, Black Swordsman, I'll kill you. And then the fat butterball guy says, have everyone vacate the room at once, doll. And then he says, what? And he said, Excellency, this is dangerous, man. I suggest you... I kind of skipped that part. He said, Excellency, this is dangerous. May I suggest you return to your chambers? And then he says, have everyone vacate the room at once, doll. What? But I said at once. And then you get like his creepy eyes look like you kind of see like a little universe. All right, so that was page 19. We're moving to page 20. Doll looks in shock like, this guy's crazy. And he says, everyone leave immediately. And then the soldiers look on and they start leaving. And Doll gulps. And now we got Lord, what's the guy's name? Lord Zondark. Lord Zondark. Lord Zondark's bashing his head on a pillar. And he says, God. And so the king or whatever, I guess he's a king. I don't know. They call him your Majesty. He pretty much like grabs Zondark by the neck like this, you know, even though he got these little short arms. So he can't even really reach his whole arm around, right? And he just like holds him. He says, you despise him, don't you? The Black Swordsman. Lord Zondark says, yes, I'd do anything to kill him. And Butterball says, ha 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 ha. Wait, hold on. What is the king's name again? I know they said his name. Hold on. I'm gonna have to go back because now I gotta go find his king's name, right? The Count. That's what his name is. The Count. I don't think they ever gave a name, but the Count. So the Count. So okay, yeah. I just had to go back find his name. Okay. So the Count laughs, ha 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 ha, and Count says, "Very well then," and he grabs him by the head like this. Right, grabs him by the head, and he says, next page, he says, I'll grant you your wish. And he opens his mouth, and you see like a little evil spirit or a demon like just crawling out of his mouth. And Zondark like looks in like in suspense and shock. And then as he looks on, like the demon or whatever is coming out of his mouth, and he says, "Eat," and the demon goes into or hold on, not yet. Next page. So the Count like fully opens his mouth, and we get kind of a clearer version of this demon coming out of his mouth, which kind of looks like the Count himself, right? Kind of looks like him. Has these tentacles and everything. And he says, take it inside of you, my demon, I guess. And so you get kind of a zoomed out view of this scene of this demon going inside Lord whatever his name is. I keep forgetting his name. All right, so next page, we got a doll and some soldiers standing at the top of these steps, and they say, "Lord Doll." He says, "What is it?" One of our informers, he say he knows the whereabouts of the fugitive, the Black Swordsman. Doll says, "What?" And he says, "Excellent. Take 30." So Doll looks at one of the soldiers and he says, "Excellent. Take 30 troops along with you." And the door open. He says, "Wait." And then the count says, or no, Doll says, Your Excellency." And the count says, "We lose the element of surprise if you send too many men to kill him. And don't forget what happens this afternoon. No matter how many foot soldiers we send after him, it's unlikely they'll be able to stop him. I have a better plan." That was page 24. We move on to page 25. Okay, so we got the Lord. I forget his name. Lord. I was just saying it, but Lord, whatever. He's coming out. Coming out the door, and Doll looks at him in surprise, and the soldiers do as well. And he looks a bit zombie-ish, right? Like you see, he still has the bandages and everything. His eyes are much like he's strung out, almost like he's zombified, and then he has these fangs now. Zondark, that's the guy's name. And the count says Zondark. Or next page, I'm on the next page, guys. I almost forgot. The count says, "Zondark, the time has come for you to wreak vengeance to your heart's content." And Doll looks surprised and confused. And Zondark lets out a big scream. Or I'm assuming he screams or laughs, or one or the other. I don't know. And then we cut back to Guts and Vargas. Puck says, "Wow, it's really made well." In the next page, we get another view of the Bahilit, right? And Puck is making this little crazy face, like he's trying to replicate the Bahilit. And then there's ... right? And then Puck point at it, and then he like pokes it on the eye, right? and then he looks a bit scared, and then he starts smacking it. We're on page 27 now. We move on to page 28. And then so now Puck is like leaning on the Bahilit, right? He says, "I don't believe it. It won't budge an inch. But if you look closely, it's kind of got a neat looking face." And he said, "It's art, yeah, art." And then the eye, like the eye was open and then it closes, right? While Puck's not paying attention at the moment, it closes. And he points up, and then he I guess he notices, and then he like falls back in the Guts' shoe, and then like falls forward, right? And then Guts says, "It's not artwork. That thing's alive." Puck says, "Why didn't you tell me that before I touched it, you big jerk?" He said, Gus says, well, it may be alive, but it's no danger in its current state. Let's say it's a kind of a tool. It's a kind of a tool. Next page. Puck says, well, how does it summon the God Hand? Gus says, stupid. I wouldn't be going through all this trouble if I knew that. And Puck says ... and looks back at it. And then the eye opens again and Puck gulps. He says, I forgot to ask you something. And Guts says, how did the Count first get hold of this thing anyway? Next page. Vargas says, by chance. And we kind of see a page of like this, I guess like this convoy of carriages. And it says, he happened to buy it from a caravan of merchants that stopped by the castle one day. Even the merchants knew nothing about it. All they said was that they found it in a town bazaar, somewhere to the east. And then Guts says, by chance? And then, you know, Guts is just looking, thinking about it. And Vargas says, look at this. It's a layout map of the castle. All right, we're on page 30. We move on to page 31. Vargas says, there's a secret passage used for escape from the castle that only a handful of people know about. Besides the Count himself, if all goes well, you should be able to reach the inner compound undetected. I wish I could go with you, but with this body of mine, I'd only be a hindrance. And then Guts looks at him, and Vargas says, I beg you. For the past 7 years, I've waited for this day. I've waited for the day that a man like you would appear. We was on page 31. We move on to page 32. Guts ... Vargas says, you're my only hope. Please avenge me. Bro, Guts is hardly about no vengeance. He like, bro, I came here to slay, so I'm not here to avenge you, bro. Go ahead somewhere. Oh, then he touches Guts on the shoulder, right? You know, Guts do not like being touched. Guts like smacks his hand off of him, and then he kicks Vargas into the table with all these little jars and stuff are falling off, and he says, "Don't touch me." Next page. We got Angel Room in the building. Shout out to Angel Room. What's good, bro? What's good? Right now we're on chapter 2, the beginning of chapter 2. I know the title of my stream and my thumbnail says chapter 4, but the structure of this manga kind of is confusing. But I think we're officially chapter 2 though. So I'm gonna have to make some changes. My thumbnail is still gonna be wrong, you know, but like my thumbnails are still gonna be wrong till now, but it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Okay, but so we're on the next page. Puck says Guts, and Vargas looks ... He says, "Hey, what's the big idea?" Guts says, "You make me sick. Don't you ever touch me like that again, understand?" He says, "Have you seen yourself in the mirror lately?" And then Vargas and Puck looks on, and he says, Guts says, "You're the one who looks like a monster. At least make yourself a little more presentable." And Guts kind of holds back Guts. And he says, "Listen, you." And he Puck like grabs him by the shirt. And he says, "How come you're?" Or we're on the next page, and he says, "How come you're always picking on people like that?" And Guts just plucks him. And he says, "You jerk." And then Vargas says, "It's okay. I don't mind. If only you kill the Count, I don't care what you say about me." And he said, and Puck says, "Old fella." And then Guts thinks in his head, "Spineless bastard." Humph. Angel said, "The guy needs to know his place." Joey Boy said, "Well, he does soon. He does soon." All right, we're on the next page. Guts says, "I won't avenge you, but I'll kill him all the same." Shh, quiet. Guts looks like Guts is like on alert mode, and Puck says, "What's wrong?" Guts' eye gets wider, and then here comes Zondark, Lord Zondark, pretty much crashing through the door, crashing through the even part of like the wall with his halberd, just crashes through it, or like destroys it. Next page, we see all the debris falling towards Guts and Vargas and Puck. And see, man, I knew Guts should have killed this man when he had the chance. Like, I'm like, bro, why are you leaving this man alive? He gonna come back. You know, you gotta kill him right away. Don't be toying with him. So Puck says, "Guts," and then we see like this demon form Lord Zondark just walk through the doorway with his halberd. Guts looks on in shock. Okay, that was page 36. We're on page 37. And then Puck says, "The guy from this afternoon, you again, tough bastard, aren't you?" Or Guts says, "You again, tough bastard, aren't you?" And Lord Zondark goes in for like a vertical swing. Guts reaches for his sword. Next page. He slashes down at Guts. Guts blocks it. But this time, like, Guts look like, okay, this guy got a little more force behind his swing now. This guy ain't come to play no games. And Guts gets sent back into a bunch of tables and stuff, and you see some of the jars like breaking and everything. Guts says, "Ugh." Puck says, "Guts." Or next page, Puck says, "Guts." And Guts is on the floor getting up, and then you see this demonic Lord Zondark. Angel said, "Get." Guts equals Batman. Hey, pretty much, man could take a beating. So Guts is like now Guts is scar is bleeding again, right? I'm starting to think maybe this Count, right? I'm starting to think this Count might not be an apostle. I'm starting to think he could be a god hand. Like when we seen the silhouettes, there was like on the far right, there was like a fat looking one, right? A fat looking, like a butterball looking one. Even though he had a hood, so you can't really tell. But he was like a fat butterball looking guy. And the fact that he, like, it looks like Lord Zondark at the moment just turned to an apostle, right? So if that's the case, maybe only God hand, maybe only they could turn people into apostles. Unless apostles could turn people into apostles as well. You know, I would think that apostles can only be turned by like a God or somebody stronger, right? So maybe this count is a god hand. Y'all don't have to let me know that though. Y'all don't have to spoil that for me. That's just kind of an observation. So Guts' brand is bleeding. His branding is bleeding. We got Lord Zondark looking over Guts while he's like still down in the table. And Guts says, now I get it. You're not even human anymore. And Guts grips his sword. Angel said, I no lie never noticed the fat guy. I mean, he's pretty integral in this chapter, so you know. Yeah, I don't know. You know, he's pretty integral though. Okay, so we're next page. Lord Zondark says, fool, I'll hack you to pieces. And then we see him going in for another swing while Guts is still on the floor getting up. And then Puck says, Guts. And we see that famous one-eyed silhouette that, you know, we always see at Guts. And he looked like he's charging towards Lord Zondark, right? Because we see, on one hand, we see a one-eyed silhouette of Lord Zondark, and we see the right side of his face, but then we get the left eye of Guts, the one-eyed silhouette. Angel said, we'll see though. Yes, sir, we will definitely see. I think he might be a god hand. I think he might be. But I don't know, it might be a little too early to be giving us a god hand, right? Unless, you know, especially if he gets killed early. You know, I don't know if I see somebody, you know, like these beings that are hyped up to be like the top of the line. One of them being killed so early. But it's possible he doesn't get killed, right? Alright, LaJoy Boy said, I can explain it without spoiling it after 2 or 3 more chapters. Bet. Alright, okay, so alright, so Guts looks like he actually cut dude, right? Look like he okay, I got it. So Guts cuts Lord Zondark's arm clean off. Nice little panel right there. Nice little. Oh yeah, and we're on the next page if I haven't said it. He cuts Lord Zondark's arm clean off. And you see Lord Zondark's right arm with the halberd like fall to the ground. Puck looks shocked. Puck and Vargas both look shocked. And then Lord Zondark says, "Go." And then we see the arm. We see like the arm still attached to the halberd, sticking into the ground. And Vargas looks back at the arm. We got Cube in the building. He says, I am not starting Berserk. Hey, if you want to start it, this is the best time, right? This is the best time while I do it. You could take this journey with me, right? Like right now, I'm on chapter 2, the beginning of chapter 2. But in the app that I use, it's like D0 or something. Like D0. I don't know. It's like D0 though. All right, so we see Lord Zondark's like nub where his arm got cut off, bleeding, and then he kind of looks back right at Guts, and then we see like his arms, like we see like these tentacle demon, like these demonic tentacle looking things coming out of his arm. Man, this guy could regenerate. That's wild. Oh, here y'all go. You and Cuban Joy Boy beefing in the chat, right? Cuban Joy Boy beefing in the chat. Cube said, also, Joy Boy, take a shower. I smell you from Europe. Wow. What's this beef about, man? Why y'all beefing like this? Angel said, Q, you should read. You will find a new level of hatred with this manga. Joy Boy says, shame, Cube. Q gonna call him Angela. Wow. Hey, what's all this venom? What's all this venom, Q? Why you coming? Oh, you said Angel. Never mind. You corrected it. I thought you just came in throwing ether at everybody, man. Q is wild, man. So, oh man, I'm tired today. All right. So chapter 42, or this was page 42. We move on to page 43. All right. So Puck looks in shock. We see all these demon tentacles. Some of them look like hands. Some of them look like tentacles. They coming out. And Puck says, huh? And then Vargas says, and then we see what's his name? Like, we see him kind of like, it look like he's like swinging his tentacle arm in the air, and then he reaches for his halberd next to his cut off hand. We're on page 43. We're moving to page 44. I woke up a little early. I had to do something today. You know, I didn't even know if I was going to come back. I didn't even know if I was going to make it in time to do this stream in time. Like I thought I was going to have to push this stream back, but I actually made it, you know, to do this stream. So Laura Zondark is holding on to his halberd, and he says, kill. And then next page 45, which is kind of like a double spread page, we see Guts, and we also see the rest of the guy's tentacle arm holding the halberd. We move on to page 46. And Puck is hiding in one of the skulls, and Vargas is like, eee! Right? Because we see this big ass tentacle. And Guts like licks his lip, ready for battle, right? And he grabs his sword. I don't know why he put his sword back. I guess he thought he won, right? I thought he still had it. Or hold on. Did he put his... Oh, okay. He didn't put the sword back. He just got his sword behind him. We move on to page 47. And we see Guts posing with his sword behind him. And his prosthetic arm like right next to his blade. And Vargas and Guts is still watching on. We move on to page 48. And Guts is still in his little pose, right? And Laura Zondark says, I'll chop you into mincemeat. All right, and Guts still posing. Guts still posing. And we see a one-eyed silhouette of Zondark. We move on to page 49. And Zondark has like his tentacle kind of like around, not like around Guts, but it's like surrounding Guts' body, right? With the halberd coming at Guts. And Puck says, whoa. it Guts blocks the strike from Lord Zondark's halberd. That, of course, hits him with a little force and sends Guts like flying a bit into the wall. We see another one-eyed darkened silhouette of Lord Zondark, and Guts is still on his feet though. He's still on his feet, and Zondark is like whipping the halberd around. That was page 50. We move on to page 51. Oh man, bro, I'm tired today, man. Well, I'm so tired, man. I might need to take a nap after this. Joy Boy said Berserk is amazing, Cube. When if I finish Eye Shield 21, you should start Berserk. So yeah, so Zondark is like whipping. He's like whipping this halberd around, right? And it's like going into shelves and the tables, breaking everything it hits. And Guts is like blocking. We see Vargas on the floor, trying to take cover, trying not to get hit. I don't really see where Puck is at the moment, but I'm pretty sure Puck is trying to avoid getting hit. Next page, we still see Puck in the skull, and then he like jumps out of the skull, and there's like wooden logs falling towards him, and Puck screams, "Wah!" And we see the logs like break, and then Puck is like bracing, but he realized like, okay, I haven't gotten hit yet, right? And we see Vargas is over Puck, kind of shielding Puck, so he doesn't get hit. That was page 52. We're on page 53. All right, so the man pretty much took like the falling of the wood to the back, and he says, "Oh, hey, old fella, are you okay?" And Vargas says, "Hee, more or less, but you're the one I'm worried about, little one." And Puck is kind of like teary-eyed. He says, "Thanks." And Vargas like snatches Puck real quick to avoid like something falling on where Puck was standing. And he says, "Eat." And he says, "What a horrible monster. God save us." And Puck says, "Ouch." We was on page 53. Now we move on to page 54. And it says, he's swinging that battle axe around like a whip. It's too fast for the human eye to see. And he says, at this rate, Vargas says, at this rate, we'll all be chopped to bits. Puck says, but the thing is, it's too fast to see. But Guts is blocking every single blow. Next page, page 55. All right, so we see we see Guts blocking all of them, kind of like what Puck just said. Guts is just casually blocking these hits. Now we move on to page 56. We see Guts brace himself, and like Guts is pretty much like bleeding on his hand that he's holding his sword on. I don't know if like he got cut on his hand or if it's from holding the sword so tightly while blocking all these strikes. And he says, "Gah." So I think he got hit. I think one of the blades struck him in the hand or something. And then we see the halberd like super close to Guts's head. But I'm assuming it doesn't hit him. Next page. So Guts ends up cutting off the other arm. He ends up cutting off the other arm. So yeah, Guts is kind of going like using his little cape to kind of I'm assuming he's using it like to confuse him, and then he ends up cutting off Lord Zondark's other arm. I think. Because I'm seeing another arm fall off, right? But it still looks like his right arm, but it don't really make sense. I don't really know what's going on. Well, yeah, he did cut off his other arm. Okay, he did cut off his other arm. Zondark says, "Kai!" And then we see Guts going in for what looks to be another attack. And he cuts off like a chunk of Lord Zondark's head. And Lord Zondark like, oh. Next page. So Zondark is still whipping that halberd around though. And Guts blocks a strike with his sword and his prosthetic arm just for a little extra support, right? And it like sends him sliding backwards. And then Guts said, phew. First time I seen him like phew or anything. Next page. So we got Puck looking shocked. Vargas looks a little shocked. And it says he's incredible. Guts is standing firm. And then I said, I always knew he was tough, but it seemed like he was just swinging his sword around wildly. But now I realize that was page 60. We're on page 61. He's a swordsman. Like, he's a swordsman. Or he's a master swordsman. While as we watch Guts just stand there with his cape draped over his whole body and his sword. So we're on the next page. So we got Lord Zondark, piece of his head missing, one of his arms missing, the other arm is a demon tentacle. And then he sticks his tongue out. You see all this slobber and stuff coming out. Ugh. And then Puck says, ew. Have his head chopped off. And he's still. And then Puck's ... And Zondark says, well done. And then we see like the demon in his head. It's like it's sticking out of his head. Guts looks shocked. Puck looks shocked. And then we see the demon silhouette. He says, Black Swordsman. And it's like sticking out his head like fully. Next page. All right, so we get a double cover spread or page spread or whatever. And we're on page 64 and 65. He says, not bad, Black Swordsman. For a mortal, that is. And we see like Guts looking to the right of Lord Zondark. Lord Zondark looking to the left of Guts in his double spread. His double page spread. And we move on to page 67. He said, it's the Count, says Vargas. And the Count says, long time no see, Vargas. And Vargas looks shocked. We also see the egg, right? The egg's on the floor behind the Count or Lord Zondark with the Count in him, right? And then we see the egg. Remember, we got that the Bahilet is on the floor behind Lord Zondark. Angel says, yo, you all should be watching Ippo. Angel and Ippo, bro. Angel finds any reason to talk about Ippo, I swear. I'm not mad at it though, man. I know you really love Ippo though. Joy Boy says, yeah, I need to continue my rewatch. All right, so we're on the next page, and the Bahilit is on the floor. Vargas, hurt, rushes to pick it up. And so the Count is talking to Vargas as Lord now I forget his name. Lord Zondark is, focused on Guts, I assume. And the Count says, so it is you. Just you wait. After I take care of him, I'll be delighted to continue where we left off 7 years ago. And Guts is just looking on. Next page. He says, or the Count says, truly impressive. You've honed your strength and skill to the utmost. Surely no one can defeat you. No human, that is. And Guts just looks while he talks. And he says, the fact that you're mortal. Next page. So we kind of get like a silhouette of the face of Lord Zondark and the Count. And he said, is your own or is your downfall? And Guts is standing there, and then he blocks another attack. And then we see the ceiling looks like it's starting to like cave in. And Guts looks up. Next page. And then Lord Zondark says, Gah! Vargas looks in shock. And you see pretty much the ceiling collapsing on the Count and Lord Zondark. And like Guts watches as the Count pretty much gets buried in this rubble of the ceiling, right? And Vargas says, hey, over here, hurry. It's like a little trapdoor under in the floor. And they both escape this this collapsing ceiling. And then we kind of get a shot outside where there's like a fire going on at the building that they're fighting in. All the citizens are looking, they're looking towards where everything is happening, all the action is. Next page. So there's like this little sewage system, right? Where you see these bars where like the sewer is, and there's a bar, and then we see a foot kick in one of the bars of the sewer. And Puck says, stinky. Gut says, that's your idea. He says, yeah, that's your idea of an escape route. And Gut says, Puck says, I wonder if he's dead. And Gut says, And then Vargas says, what was that? The Count? Nah. Gut say, nah, it's not the Count. It was more like his demon. Okay. Next page. Gus says, it was feeding off that guy up there in total control of his body, his mind and body. All that remained was his desire to kill. This is where we part. But before I go, there's something I want from you. And Guts puts his hand out and he says, the Bahilit. And the guy, like, Vargas looks in shock. Guts says, come on, think of it as down payment for killing the Count. That thing's of no use to you anyway. And Vargas looks looks at the Bahilit and says ... And then Gus just snatches it from him. And he said, Puck says, hey. And Gus says, later. And Puck says, hey, Guts. And then Guts keeps walking. And Puck says, hey, or old fella, take care of yourself, okay? And Vargas says, I will. And you take care of yourself too, little one. I don't think that guy's, I feel like he's not dead though. Like, is he dead? Like, I don't, like, bro, the guy, like, he got his arm cut off, was still moving. So I feel like he could survive probably a building collapsing on him. Probably. But if the whole building collapsed, then probably not. I don't, maybe he gets crushed. So, yeah, he could be dead, you know. You know, depending on how good his regeneration is. Next page, Puck says, you're a good person, you know that? At first, I thought you were kind of creepy, but... And he says, ... He says, oh, I'm sorry. That's okay. Now go. Okay. Bye. And then Puck says ... And he says, oh, and one more thing. I think that people need to keep living. Next page. He says, you see, I don't really know much about life, but living for the future is more important than trying to avenge the past, I guess. Ha 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 ha. And then Vargas says, Puck says, what am I saying? I guess I'm just mixed up. Vargas looks ... And and Vargas says, no, you're right. Puck says ... Ha ha ha. See ya. And then next page. Vargas says, such a dear elf. And he looks off as Puck flies off. And he says, well, I can't just stand around forever. And we see him walking away. Or no, we see like a tentacle going through the water. I knew he wasn't done. And the tentacle comes through the water and is floating. And we see Vargas walking through the shallow water, and the tentacle is like headed his way. So I'm thinking that the demon, the Count, I think he's going to probably take Vargas's body, potentially. Like, he's going to take Vargas's body. And we will see Vargas again, but this time he will be the new host of, I guess, the Count. You know, I don't know if that fat butterball guy is still holding the main portion of that demon. And what went into Lord Zondark was just kind of like an extension. Or I don't know if he transferred bodies. I'm not too sure. But if he's just constantly transferring bodies, next time we see him, he might be in Vargas's body. So that was page 77. And we're going to page 78. And the tentacle arm. Okay, so it looked like that ain't the case. It looked like it's the fight, you know. Lord Zondark is still active. in full, right? He's still active in full. Because we see the tentacle bust through the water and wrap Vargas, his body around. Vargas says, "Eat!" And he says, "What? It can't be." ... And you see like in the sewer, you see the eyes glowing, the three eyes, part of Zondark's, and the other is like the demon in him, the Count demon. That was page 78. We moved to page 79. And we see Guts and Puck walking through the town. Guts says, "Listen, Guts, that's so rude. Just taking the Bahilit and walking off like that. At least you could have seen him off somewhere safe." Puck says ... while Guts looks at him. Puck says, "What's the big idea? He saved you, you know. He showed you a secret passage into the castle too. He even gave you the Bahilit." Guts said, "I could have done those things myself. Well, except for this, which is much appreciated. So much that I would have taken it by force if necessary." Puck says, "Scoundrel." Next page. Puck says, but, both of you want to destroy the Count, right? You're allies after all." Guts looks. And, I'm trying to make sure I read it in the right. So they're walking through the town. He says, "Ha ha ha ha, allies, me and him. You're kidding me, right? Even when he begged me, I turned him down, that maggoty creep. How could you?" Puck says, "How could you?" And then Gus said, "I can't be bothered by some good-for-nothing bastard acting like we're friends. He'll end up dragging me down with him." Next page. Puck looks ... Guts looks back. He says, "That goes for you too, bug." He still don't like Puck. I wonder if they ever do actually form like an actual close friend. If Guts ever actually do like warms up the Puck, you know what I mean? Or if he's just gonna be like this the whole series and Puck is just gonna continue to follow him. I'm curious. I'm curious. I could see Guts eventually warming up to him though, and part of some character development, right, where Guts actually starts warming up to people. At least like Puck possibly. And then Guts walks away and Puck I do there's some part of me that think Guts do be kind of capping a little bit. Like he just be putting up a front. Like he don't care, but I feel as though there is a piece of him that do. I feel like he shows some signs of actually caring. Like when he said that goes for you, bug. Like his face was kind of serious, but it also kind of showed like, you cool to a degree, but I'ma still pretend like I don't like you. But you are kind of warming up to me. And then when that girl died back in the second part of chapter 1. All right, so yeah, and Puck start kind of crying. He's a little sad, get a little teary eyed. That was page 81. We moved to page 82, and Puck looks in shock, and Guts is kind of looking around the corner. Puck says, "What is it?" Shh. And the people were saying, "Another execution?" Guts looked shocked. And the people were saying, "Is it true?" They say, "Yes. But there was just one yesterday." And one of the guys said, "I know. but they say it's a friend of that fellow who caused all the commotion at the execution grounds. I hear it's supposed to be a warning to him. Guts and Pucks look Guts and Puck look shocked. Angel, you silly. Angel talking about Guts only warms up to one person, and that's the reader. Oh, that warms my heart. I'm glad that at least Guts likes me. It's wonderful to hear. You silly. Okay, we're going to we was on page 82. We're moving on to page 83. Puck says, Guts. Hey, wait. Guts. And then we see Guts' little crossbow looking thing, right? We see Guts kind of preparing, loading it up. And we go to the next page. Guts is like, he's sitting down loading his crossbow up. Looked like he might have done a little maintenance on it or whatever, or just a little preparation, I'm assuming. And Puck says, Guts. And he says, hey, Guts. And Guts is still messing with his crossbow. And Puck says, hey, Guts. And Guts still not paying him any mind. He says, Guts, grrr. We move to the next page. And Guts is still, messing with his prosthetic arm and everything. And Puck looks ... And he says, okay, I could take a hit. All right. And Guts ain't paying him no mind. And he says, all right, then I won't ask you again. Angel said, how many pages are left? I think we're nearing the end. It's still a good bit of pages. It's 117 pages altogether, and we're only on page 85. Yeah, this is a long part right here. This is a bit long, you know what I mean? All right, so we're moving on to page 86. Puck is like flying through some like little, demolished house and looking places, like he's like flying away. We see Guts still doing his thing. Guts has his arm taken off, and we see Guts's like nub, like the nub part of his arm. We move on to page 87. And we see like Vargas's body, like he's standing with his cane, and then we look and we see Guts, and Vargas said he sliced them up, chopped them off, and then ate them. So I'm thinking like this is Guts kind of like remembering. It's kind of like a flashback of some of his moments with Vargas. And then Vargas says, before my eyes, he took my wife and my sons. We see Guts like kind of rubbing his Brandon. And Vargas says, I was nothing but a prisoner of fear. Next page. Then we see Vargas says, please avenge me. And Guts like punches the wall to the right of him. And that's page 88. We're moving to page 89. So now we're moving on to where we see the execution platform. So yeah, we're moving on to the execution of Vargas. Sir Vargas. And, they have him. He doesn't have his robe anymore. And so now we see the original body, or the original count's body of the demon, right? And he says, "We meet again, Vargas." I'm starting to think the part that he put into Lord Zondark was an extension of him. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to kind of believe that. You know, and so he could like exist within separate bodies. That's what I'm kind of believe. Uh Angel said, "I can't believe I read this." Joy Boy said, "I DM'd you if you want to check it out. If it's about chapter structure, I'll check it out after. You know, we're going to finish this though. We're going to finish this, but I will check your DM out because it might help me on how I structure my like thumbnails and my video titles. Cause like I was confused and I feel as though my previous streams are a bit misleading now because I was said chapter 2 in the old streams, and then right now we're literally in chapter 2, and those other ones I read were just part of chapter 1s. So yeah, you know, so I'm gonna have to make those changes in my description boxes. I'm gonna have to change my titles and stuff. And I might keep the thumbnails the same, so it might be a little awkward, right? It might look a little wacky. And then the Joy Boy said, "There's a few ways you could go with it. We can talk about it after stream." Yeah, sure. We could do that. All right, so we're on the next page, and the count says, "What has it been? 7 years now?" Vargas is looking ... and he says, "Ho." The count says, "Ho ho. What are you glaring at?" And he says, "Normally we need to give you a painstaking interrogation, but I've decided to get it over with and execute you right away. You should be grateful." Daw says, "Your Majesty, the object you mentioned is nowhere to be found." And the count says, "I see. So the black swordsman has it." Next page, we see Puck like on a little wind. I forget what they call them, but them little wind things. And it's funny because this little the actual ornament on the wind thing, you could kind of see his little thing, right? And Puck is like right next to it, kind of like posing. You know, he kind of look like he belongs on one of them as well. And Puck says, "Old fella, what to do? What to do?" And Puck looks downward and he sees a silhouette of Guts. And then we see Guts hanging out in the alley. And Puck says, "Guts, Guts." And then Puck like runs into charges at Guts, and he says, "I knew you'd come. There is some good in you." And he says, "So what are you gonna do? You better hurry up. The old fella's gonna..." And then Guts kind of looked like Puck's kind of like, it looked like Puck actually caught Guts off guard a little bit. And he says, "So what are you gonna do? You better hurry up. The old fella's gonna..." And Guts said, You got it all wrong." Puck says, "Huh?" And Guts says, "I just came to watch him die." Yo, Guts kind of messed up though, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, Guts can help the man out. Come on, bro. The man ain't like a bad dude. He treated you nicely, Guts. Come on, bro. You know, you could at least like say, like, you know, save him indirectly, maybe. You know what I mean? Puck looks ... He says, "Look." And he says, in the he says, "You think I'm so noble that I'll just walk right into their trap?" And then he says, in the shadows past the castle gate, it's a trap. As soon as I approach the execution stand, hundreds of troops will burst out. He said, you think I'm so noble that I'll just walk right into their trap? Puck says, dot, dot, dot. He says, but, gulp. He says, if you're so worried about it, why don't you save him? Next page. Puck says, but I couldn't possibly do that alone. And the Guts says, then shut up. And Puck looks dot, dot, dot. He says, the same goes for him. An average person, a misfit who can't even swing a sword, it's ridiculous for him to think he can defeat that monster. Next page, Puck says, he says, ambition. Puck says, Gut says, ambition comes with a price attached. Of course, that price comes too high if you die for nothing. And then he says, the reward for ambition too great is self-destruction. Not, and then Puck says, not again like before. His emotions are pouring into me. So I'm guessing this is kind of like him thinking these things. I don't know if he's saying them or if he's thinking them. It's page 95. We're going to page 96. Puck says, it burns. Dark and violent emotions pounded into me. Self-hating, destructive. Burning like black magma. Then we see Puck said, dot, dot, dot. Gut says, is this... Or no, Puck says, is this the source of Gut's strength? All right, so next page 97. So they pretty much shove Vargas's head onto the execution stand. Puck says, old fella. And Gus said he should have known his limits. A rat should live like a rat. Puck says, dot, dot, dot. Guts, are you afraid? And then next page, Gus says, what are you talking about? Puck says, dot, dot, dot. The old fella fighting enemies he can't possibly defeat. You're afraid of him, aren't you? And then Puck says, yeah. Hold on. I think this is Guts talking. I might. Hold on. I'm a little confused on. He said, you're afraid of him, aren't you? And Puck says, yeah, you are afraid. Afraid to admit that you're also fighting a losing battle. You don't want to admit that you're just like him. And then Guts kind of looks on. And Guts say, bah. Well then, why'd you come here? Says Puck. Puck says, if you really didn't care, you wouldn't be here at all. If you hated the old fella that much, and then Guts grabs Puck and Puck squeaks, and Guts says, you talk too much, you know that. Where does an elf like you get off talking like a human? And then, of course, you know Puck crying. Puck is always sad, man. Puck is always sad. Angel said, I came to watch him die. Right? That's what Angel said. All right, so next page. Guts says, dot, dot, dot. And he bites Guts right in the arm. Or the hand. In between the hand. And Guts, like rather than playing, says, yow. And then Puck says, bop, bop, bop. Like, Puck over here, bop, 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 bop. And Guts says, you. And Puck says, you big ass. And he's smacking his butt. Ass. Ass. If y'all ever seen that Big Sean video or song, selfish bastard chicken, you little brat, says Guts. Next page. Guts says, damn bug. And it's almost like Guts is thinking of Puck's being sad. And Guts is like thinking in his head, like, should I feel compassion? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, Guts is bro. This man Guts is starting to feel compassion, bro. He's starting to feel compassion, bro. Like, hey, Guts is actually starting to warm up. Guts is warming up, man. This is wild. Go ahead, Guts. We gonna get some character development. I'm telling y'all. So next page, you see Puck in the sky above the Executioner's stand platform, and they're pretty much preparing for the execution. And Puck looks on. That was page 102. We move on to page 103. And Puck is like rather in pain. So I'm guessing he's feeling like these emotions of all these people. He said, my head is splitting. Fear, anger, sadness, guilt, the hysteria of hundreds of people swirling around inside of me. Right, that's kind of torturous. That's a hard ability to have, man. And then the executioner prepares himself, and Puck is looking down. He says, "Old fella," and then Guts is still in the alley. The Joy Boy said, "So for Puck, always crying, Ella, he can feel the strong emotions of people around him. So he feels Guts' true emotions on top of his own emotions." Yeah, I bet that's a sucky ability to have, man. That's a sucky ability to have. So we move on to the next page, and Guts is watching and kind of like smirking, like he ain't gonna help. And Puck says, should I? And then the guy's preparing to swing. He says, should I? And we see Puck charging at the executioner with tears in his eyes. And Gut says, this is the next page. I almost forgot to tell you. Gut says, that idiot. And then the Count like notices. He notices, and then Vargas says, that little fellow. And he like Puck like bounces off the executioner X and fall to the ground, and then the executioner like looks back like on the ground at Puck. And Puck, it Guts seemed like he's actually a bit concerned for him, right? He's actually a bit concerned for him. Guts says, stupid. The executioner like picks up Puck, and he says, the Count says, what are you doing? Get on with it. And the executioner says, yes, sir. And I don't know. Oh yeah, we're on the next page. I forgot to tell you guys. I keep forgetting to tell you we're on the next page, guys. I might getting so caught up reading it, like it's just starting to go now. And one of the executioners said, it's a shame. Or no, Vargas says, it's a shame. What? And then the Count said, what's that supposed to mean? Or no. He said, it's a shame. Then Vargas says, that I won't be around to enjoy the sight of you choking in your own blood. And then the count says, what's that supposed to mean? And Vargas says, death will pay a visit soon enough, along with the hundreds of victims you've killed who will drag you down to hell with them. Next page. And then the count says, nonsense, finish him off. And then the executioner is preparing to he's swinging his axe, and he says, Vargas says, black swordsman, I beg of you. Guts is still awake. Guts really have no intention on helping. I thought he would have. He says, hold up this devil's severed head before us once and for all. Hold it up before us. And then the executioner, or next page, the executioner swings the axe, and we just see Vargas's head in the air, a tear coming from his eye. And Guts is like, that seemed like that actually like touched Guts. Like he actually felt that, right? He actually felt that. And the people were just like, they're just like standing there. That was page 108. We moved to page 109. So the executioner holds up the head, and Guts is like walking away through the alley, clutching at his shoulder, and he says, And now he's clutching at like his neck, right? He's starting to feel that pain in his neck. So y'all know what it is. And then he's walking through the alley, and at the intersection of the alleys, you could see like what looks to be like a fetus or something, kind of like what we seen before. Next page. It's like that same fetus that been following him. And he's just like sitting there. And we're on page 110 right now. And the fetus thingy is looking at him. And Guts says, you again. And then he looks, and then this time it looks like Vargas's face. Like he see Vargas's face on his fetus. We move on to page 111. And Guts says, And the fetus is crawling away at that intersection, looking away. Still, his head looks like Vargas's. And Guts looks in shock, and you hear, hold up his severed head before us. Next page. And then, so they're carrying Vargas's body, and the count says, didn't show up after all, did you, Black Swordsman? Well done. Or maybe. All right, so we kind of look at like a castle, and we see one of the windows opening, like a light coming from it, and we see some woman looking out of this castle's window. Kind of look like Robin from One Piece, and says ... and then the window is closed. Next page, we get kind of a shot of this town. And then we get another shot looking at the town. And one of the guards said, damn, how come we gotta do this crap? And He says, not that I care, but the corpses are practically pouring out of this pit. And you see like a bunch of dead bodies laying, like a pile of dead bodies. And the other guard says, forget about it. What a fool. Thinking he could take on the count. The guy's like holding his head. Next page. And he's looking at Vargas's head, and the head is still like looking back at him. And the guy like carrying it like gulps. And he says, yuck. Let's finish our work here and get out of here. And then the guard looks up to the right of him, and we just see the Guts' silhouette just blacked out. But you still see his eye white, his one left eye whiten. Next page. So yeah, Guts is kneeling at Vargas's head, and then we see Vargas' head and said ... The look in your eyes. And he says, filled with vengeance. ... And he says, I won't fail like you. Next page. Oh boy. Y'all know what happened when Guts is around corpses and stuff, right? He starts feeling the pain on his neck, and we see like little silhouettes in the background that like show themselves to be skeletons. And these skeletons are all like screaming. It's like, it hurts. It hurts. Give it back to me. My leg. I'm in pain. Pain. Want my head back. I can't see my eyes. Or he said, I can't see my eyes. And then it said his head. We want the Count's head. And Guts reaches for his sword and says, damn. And they said, we want revenge together. Revenge. Revenge. That was page 117. And then Guts, like one of the souls of it's not even a skeleton, it's like a soul. It's like behind Guts. And we're on page 118 right now. And Guts says, no. And then these it's like the spirit is merging into Guts' body. And he says, together. And they say revenge. And Guts is like starting to transform, right? Starting to become a little more demonic. And it says, no. Next page. So Guts manages to expel these souls out of his body. And he's like huffing, right? He said, never. Next page. Gus says, never. You and I got nothing in common. You're dead, all of you. This is my fight. You're nothing but worthless scum. Get away from me. Carcasses. Mine, a person of flesh and blood. Next page. Gus is thinking, that's right. I'll do it myself. I'll kill the Count with my very own flesh and blood. End. The Guardians of Desire. All right, y'all. That's pretty much the chapter. That's the chapter. This was chapter 2. I know I got my titles and stuff on my previous streams a little wrong. The structure of this manga is a little janky, but I'm gonna change them. I'm gonna go back and change them. So there will be that. So yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much the stream. All right. Let me get some water. But anyway, y'all, this is my last stream. Make sure you guys hit that like button too. Hit that like button. This is my last stream here on YouTube. I will be switching over to Twitch, so make sure you guys follow me on Twitch. I will still be posting here on YouTube, so you know, for the people who can't make my Twitch streams, my live streams on Twitch, guys, I will still be posting like content from my Twitch here. They'll be more edited, a lot shorter. For you guys who these streams may be too long, I know this stream was like 2 hours, might have seemed a bit long. So when I'll edit it with a lot of fat trimmed out, and that will be posted here on YouTube. Some of you guys may not be able to make these streams, so yeah, that's what YouTube is going to be for. Angel said, great stream. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you guys, know when I post. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, also Twitch, like I just said. And if you are looking for a community to be a part of, join my community. Join my community is growing. We're active. All that stuff. We got a lot of good people in there. And it's great if you want to send me content to react to. It's a great place to do that. Anyway, it's your boy, Sean P, the Bluff Guy. And I'm out of here. Y'all have a good evening. Joy Boy said, great stream, bro. It's about to get crazy. I bet. I was hoping we see that little possession thing. I want to see what that's about. I'm ready to see what that's about, right? This one was a little long, but I think maybe we'll start getting chapters and not like, parts of chapters like we've been getting previously, right? So I'm assuming that's going to be the case. But anyway, y'all, it's your boy Sean P, the Bluff Guy. I'm out of here. I'll be going to Twitch. Tomorrow we'll be playing some Elden Ring, some Chivalry 2. Sunday, I will officially be crossing over to Twitch for the One Piece chapter reaction. So anyway, y'all, it's your boy Sean P, the Bluff God, and now I'm out of here. Peace.